Hi, Anjana here. Engineering is the one career that has so many takers. If you're planning to do engineering, then there are so many information that you're required to know. Like you need to know about the branches, scope, entrance exams, and more importantly, how to crack it. Today I'm in conversation with Mr. Swapnish Subramanian. He's an assistant professor of mechanical engineering in Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Technology. He's also a research scholar at IIT Bombay. Welcome to Pep Talk. Before we explore the branches and scope of engineering, please take me through the homework that should be done because kids, that is what kids would want, and moreover, even parents would want that, how to crack the exam. So, if engineering is the goal, when should one start the preparations and how to go on with it?
Yeah, it's a nice question. Engineering is in fact one of the most sought after courses by students looking for a graduation course. The engineering entrance examinations are very challenging and requires a stringent routine to prepare. The first and foremost is that you should make a timetable and stick to it. See, most of these questions will be from your higher secondary background only, but maybe more intense, I should say. So make sure you clear your basics before moving on. With each covered topic and chapter, it is better to prepare small notes or a comprehensive list of formulas that will come in handy at the time of revision. So start preparing in advance, possibly at the earliest possible scenario. And for engineering entrance, having a good flair in maybe physics, mathematics, and chemistry, that is required. Yes.
So now coming to the entrance exams, could you just take me through that process?
Yes. So what happens is for joining centrally funded institutes like IITs and NITs, all India joined entrance examination need to be cleared. For IITs, JEE advanced need to be cleared, and some private institutes like VAT, SRM, and Manipal, they also conduct their own entrance examination. And most of the states, they conduct their own exams as well. For example, in Kerala, they conduct KEAM, Kerala Engineering Architectural Medical Entrance. Other states also do something similar. So getting good score in these entrance examination is like a prerequisite for joining a good engineering program.
All right. So coming to the courses, engineering courses, it has two variations. Like there is BE and B Tech. But what is the difference between them?
Yeah. So there are very common two variations of engineering courses. One is BE, Bachelor of Engineering, and B Tech, Bachelor of Technology. Both are equally valuable. The only difference between both these courses is that Bachelor of Engineering is more theoretical and Bachelor of Technology is more on the practical side. The main focus of BTech is skill and application based studies. They teach the engineering students how a gadget actually works. It is more practical oriented. Both are AICTE approved courses, and I should say it's almost identical, and they have similar scope and career options. So if there is some notification by some company or government for BE, BTech guys are also available, and vice versa.
All right. So coming down to the branches, say what all should be considered when you select a branch, or now we have new generation branches like BTech in AI, machine learning, etc. So can you take me through these different branches and also which is the most popular one?
Yeah, this is sometimes very confusing choice for both the parents and the students. In engineering, there are a wide variety of branches. So I'll just tell about these branches in brief. So there are traditional branches or core branches like civil, mechanical, and electrical. These branches have consistent career options and minimum guaranteed jobs in government and public sector enterprises. Then there are what are called circuit branches. Electrical is the oldest of these circuit branches. Then there is electronics and communication engineering, computer science and engineering, and information technology. Then there are very specific branches like chemical, Then, as you said, there are new gen branches, specialized branches like BTech in artificial intelligence, BTech in artificial intelligence and machine learning, nanotechnology, or even there are now BTech in engineering physics. So, wide variety of branches to choose from. So, the student has to choose from these branches depending on his flair and interest. Somebody who is very good in programming, they can try maybe computer science or information technology. Somebody who is very practical oriented, somebody who is interested in construction, buildings, design, they can try maybe civil or architecture. So all this depends on the general interest and flair of the student. So wide variety of the menu is very large, I should say, in engineering.
Indeed, that's quite a lot, and it's it will be a tough decision. Okay, and again, please take me through this computer science and information technology. What's the difference between them?
Yeah, I will say that. Yeah. So computer science, as of now, which is almost like the first choice of students for the past 5 years. It's a very popular branch, and many colleges, they are increasing the seats in computer science to cater to this growing demand. And when we compare BTech in computer science and information technology, there are some similarities and some difference as well. So IT deal with the application of computing technology to real life process, whereas computer science deal with the science that facilitate this application. So when we compare these two, my personal preference is CSE can be a better choice if you look at the broad and breadth and scope of that branch offer, and also higher education. So many people use these terms interchangeably. Okay, so in computer science, for example, you learn more about the basics of programming, algorithms, data structures, complexity theory, etc. IT deals more with the management of computers and networks rather than computation. So that is the basic difference between this CSE and IT. Yeah.
All right. So now coming to selecting a college. So I believe that is equally important as selecting a branch. See, if you are the alumni of a prestigious institute, definitely that is going to take you a long way. So what are the factors that you have to consider when you select a college, and also can you list out some of the best in India?
Of course, of course. So this is another very important choice. So when we think about engineering, there are two decisions that we need to make correctly. One is the choice of the branch, and other is the choice of the institution. Now coming to the institution, in India there are Tier 1 institutions like Indian Institute of Technologies or IITs, National Institute of Technologies or NIT, and other centrally funded institutions which are really good and provide a great ambience for learning. And if you are studying in a Tier 1 college, like IITs, NITs or BITS Plan, then all these branches are, I should say, excellent for you. Then there are very good government institutions in different states and state government controlled institutions. And there are some very good private universities and private engineering colleges also. As you said, my opinion is that college is more important than branch when it comes to engineering. One yardstick that you can use for assessing the quality of the program or a college is to check whether that engineering program of that institution is NBA accredited. Another way is to look at the NIRF, National Institute Ranking Framework ranking. You can possibly look at the placement statistic and facilities of that college by looking at the website. It is also a good idea to take feedback from the alumni of that institution. They are the brand ambassadors and they can provide the right information about that institution. This is how you can possibly choose the institution.
All right. So when you think of engineering, I mean the career is it gives you so much to explore. So if you could mention if you are what exactly is what you can expect after doing a BTech.
Yeah, very important question as far as a student and parent is concerned. Okay, so after every engineering course, there are multiple career options. A student, after the completion of an engineering course, can look for core jobs. That is the jobs that are directly linked to his branch of study. Then, what is nowadays very common is many students get placed in software jobs, irrespective of the branch in which they are studying, because there is a lot of demand in the software industry. Then they can look for joining public sector undertakings, teaching jobs, or attempting civil services. Another option is to look for higher studies, MTech, MBA, or masters from reputed institutions. Then there are jobs in reputed companies through campus placement. Many engineers nowadays also explore the option of entrepreneurship, that is starting startups on their own. So there are diverse career options after engineering.
All right, so there is this tendency of okay, either you, regarding the higher studies, either you can do your masters, or sometimes what you see is they spread out, like they opt for programs like MBA. So those who are with an engineering background, I believe in placements, even after doing an MBA and all, I think they have a prominence, or so what is your take on that? Like, is it good to do an MBA or any other programs after doing an engineering?
Yeah. So if you're looking for teaching or research or top level management jobs, higher studies is definitely a good option. So students with a flair of management can try to for joining good management institutes like IIMs by clearing the CAT exam. That is take. So all the students may not have that management flair. Some students may be technically very competent, but they may be less interested in management. So candidates who want to pursue teaching, research, or specific challenging technical jobs can look for good MTech programs. Also, there are students who want to explore the options abroad. They may need to qualify exams like Graduate Record Examination, GRE. I should also say that getting, say, for example, MTech in IIT is easier than getting a BTech in IIT. So in that way, you can enhance the branding that you are having when you look for higher studies. So again, there are a lot of wide variety of options out there when we come to higher studies in engineering.
Sure. So I believe that is those are my questions. If there is anything else to add?
A couple of points I would like to add. One is nowadays there is a paradigm of interdisciplinary competencies. So I'm a mechanical engineer, but nowadays companies expect me to have maybe a bit of coding knowledge also. So interdisciplinary competencies significantly enhance the students' readiness for future work. And the present curriculum of almost all the good universities support this paradigm shift. So engineering is a kind of field that never ceases to grow. This field has a lot of to offer for everyone who is willing to learn, innovate, go above and beyond their comfort zone, and build a strong foundation for a successful career. And another very important thing is, unlike maybe medicine or law or many other professions, engineering offers global employability and diverse career options. So one engineer who is trained in India can work in maybe US and Europe without taking any additional course. So that is one good thing about engineering. So with the technological changes that are happening, sky is the limit as far as a competent engineer is concerned. So all the best for all who are going to listen to this video in the future, and thank you very much for this opportunity to interact.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keep watching Pep Talk.